My husband saw the note and his face turned a shade paler than I thought possible. He stood up so fast his chair toppled backward with a loud crash, drawing the attention of everyone around us. He grabbed my hand. "We have to go. Now." Confusion, fear, adrenaline. It all blurred together as we ran through the restaurant, out into the cold night air. A black SUV screeched around the corner, doors already open. Men in suits rushed toward us. They weren't there to protect us. I could see it in their eyes. We ran, down the alley through the maze of old brick buildings that had once felt so charming and cozy, now looming like threats. Every step felt like a choice between life and death. Finally, another SUV, the real team, pulled up, and we dove inside. The locks clicked. The driver, a woman with a no-nonsense haircut and a scar down her cheek, looked at us through the rearview mirror and said one word: secure. My husband let out a breath that shook his whole body. The woman tossed me a burner phone. "From now on, this is your only way of contacting anyone. No calls to friends, no Instagram, no emails. You don't exist." I clutched the phone, numb. Everything, our house, our friends, our life, gone. Just like that. As we sped away from the only life I had ever known, my husband took my hand again, his thumb tracing slow, calming circles on my palm. "I'm so sorry," he whispered. "I had to keep you in the dark to keep you safe." I looked at him, really looked at him, and saw the man I had fallen in love with. The man who had sacrificed everything to do the right thing. The man who had protected me even when I didn't know I needed protecting. Tears blurred my vision, but I managed a shaky smile. "I'd rather run into the unknown with you," I said, "than live a perfect lie without you." He pulled me into his arms, and for the first time all night, I felt safe, truly safe. Even if our future was a blank page now, at least we would be writing it together. And somewhere, deep inside me, I realized something even more powerful than fear or shock. Love, real love, doesn't always come dressed in roses and candlelight. Sometimes it comes in running shoes and burner phones. Sometimes it comes with broken plates, shattered plans, and whispered promises. And it's in those moments, the messy, terrifying ones, that love proves itself real. Thank you so much for staying with me through this wild, unbelievable story. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to like the video, subscribe for more unbelievable true life tales, and drop a comment. I'd love to hear if you've ever had a night that changed your life forever. Until next time, stay safe, trust your instincts, and remember, sometimes the scariest moments lead to the most beautiful beginnings. If you've ever had a moment where your heart skipped a beat, not from love, but from an unbearable, creeping fear, you'll know exactly how I felt that night. I thought I had planned the perfect anniversary dinner. I thought I knew my husband better than anyone. But when he pushed his plate aside, barely touching a bite, my heart knew something was wrong. What I didn't expect was the note that changed everything. Before we dive into this unbelievable story, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video if you love true life twists, and leave a comment below if you've ever had a gut feeling that turned out to be right or heartbreakingly wrong. Now let's start at the beginning. It was our 5th wedding anniversary. 5 years of love, laughter, small arguments over silly things, and making up over homemade pizza nights. I had spent days planning our celebration, calling the fancy little Italian place downtown, ordering the exact bottle of wine from our first date, even picking out a soft, shimmery blue dress because he once said blue brought out the color of my eyes. Everything was meant to be perfect. The night air was crisp but not too cold, the kind that makes you want to hold someone's hand tighter. When we arrived at the restaurant, he seemed distracted. His phone buzzed once, twice, 3 times. Each time he silenced it with a quick, guilty glance at me. I laughed it off. I told myself maybe work was just crazy. After all, he had just gotten that promotion he worked so hard for. But when our meals arrived, the steaming plate of his favorite lobster ravioli and my creamy carbonara, he barely even looked at it. I teased him, nudging his foot under the table. "What's wrong, babe? You're acting like you're about to be called to jury duty or something." He forced a smile, one that didn't quite reach his eyes. And then he did something he never did before. He excused himself to the bathroom and left his phone sitting face down on the table. I sat there staring at that black rectangle like it held all the answers to the questions I was too scared to ask. My pasta sat untouched, my heart hammered against my ribs. And that's when it happened. A waiter came over. He was a younger guy, probably no older than 22, with nervous eyes darting left and right like he was worried about being seen. He slid something under the bread basket and whispered, "I'm sorry," before walking away quickly. My fingers trembled as I reached for it. It was a small note, folded over twice, written in hurried, almost desperate handwriting. 6 words. 6 tiny words that made the room tilt under my feet. "He's not who you think." The paper slipped from my fingers. My heart pounded so loudly I was sure the entire restaurant could hear it. I tried to breathe, but each breath felt like trying to inhale through a straw. I looked around. No one was watching me. The waiter had disappeared. My husband was still in the restroom. Or was he? 1,000 thoughts flooded my mind. Was he cheating? Was he hiding something even worse? Was he sick and didn't want to tell me? My stomach twisted painfully. When he returned, I couldn't even look at him the same way. He smiled at me, a real smile this time, and reached for my hand across the table. "Hey, I know tonight's supposed to be about us," he said, his voice soft, almost breaking. "But there's something I need to tell you." The note crumpled in my clenched fist. I braced myself. This was it. He took a deep breath. "I'm leaving the firm." I blinked. That wasn't what I expected. At all. I don't understand," I said, my voice thin. He squeezed my hand tighter. "I found out they've been laundering money. Big time. If I stay, I'm guilty by association. I've been working with the feds for the past 2 months. And tonight, after this dinner, I'm entering protective custody for a while." I pulled my hand back like I had been burned. Protective custody? The feds? Laundering money? It was too much, too fast. The room swirled around me, and I had to grip the edge of the table to keep from slipping under. This wasn't just about us anymore. This was bigger, dangerous. And then, as if reading my mind, he leaned in, whispering so low I barely caught it. "There are people here tonight, watching us. That waiter? He's part of the team making sure you get home safely." Suddenly, everything clicked into place. The distracted glances, the untouched food, the endless buzzing of his phone. My husband wasn't ignoring me. He was protecting me. But the terror didn't end there. Because just as I thought I understood, just as I thought we were safe, another note appeared. This time slipped under my plate while I wasn't looking. This one was different. It was typed. And it said, "You're already too late." I froze. The color drained from my face.